It is officially Ohio State week. The revenge game against the Buckeyes. Last time they got revenge on us for 55-24 in 2017, and now it is our turn to take back what's ours, and that is a win.
True. I guarantee you Ryan Day has our game circled on the calendar every single year after that ass whooping we gave in 2017. Honestly, quick thoughts on the game. Jeremiah Smith, freak. Both are running backs, freaks. Defense are okay. If we can play a clean game, it's going to be a tight game. I really think that. But it's also there's a clean game side of the spectrum, and then there's a one turnover turns to 10 side of the spectrum. And I don't know where we're going to be on that one. Just depends on how we're playing that day, but let's hope it's towards the clean game side.
Here's what stood out to me from the two interviews that we've done with the current players is they talk about hitting their blocks against Ohio State, which I love because it's like we got in a ton of trouble in 2022 with interceptions and then fumbled snaps. Like, we just got to put the ball in the hands of Caleb Johnson right now. Like, he's got the hot hand. He's hitting his stride at the right time, and the offensive line is having a fantastic season so far.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I really do think that if we can hit all our blocks, if Caleb plays how he's been playing, we're going to be in a good spot. I don't think we need to do too much. I hope we're not trying to do these fancy pass plays that don't need to be done. I do think if we hit all our assignments, we'll be fine. But like at the same time, like we need to hit Luke if it's a 3rd and 8.
Oh yeah,
first down. Like that's the kind of stuff we need.
Having a tight end is the best weapon to have in a run first offense.
Yeah, it is, and I'll be 100% honest. I think we haven't utilized that much this year. But yeah, that's the most disappointing part of the year. We have a fantastic tight end in Luke and plenty of good ones behind Luke that play just as much. But like, you have an All-American tight end. Obviously, you have a great running back who's putting up numbers that are unheard of this year. But like when he is getting stopped, you need someone to go to after that. And it seems like we are spraying the ball around a lot, almost a little too much, to the fact that we have a sure-handed guy and an unbelievable player in Luke.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's like, I don't know if we're saving it in our bag of tricks for Ohio State, but honestly, yeah, I think this would be a great time to finally figure out our tight end passing game. Get him down the field. That was one thing that Brian kind of brought in later in his tenure at Iowa is the deep ball to receivers. We saw Laporta do it a few times. It was kind of his last season there. Lachey went on a couple seam routes. We'll see if it opens up at all for our tight ends because the string has been playing well too. And then we know the kind of weapon that Luke is. So very excited to see him out there. And he's going home. His dad's calling the game for the Buckeyes. Like it, very cool game. This has Luke Lachey written all over it.
It does. And I will say another thing. And this is still kind of, it's a mind boggler for me. 2017, we played loose. We played like a team that was going into it knowing we had nothing to lose and that the other team had everything to lose. It is the exact same situation. Like everyone is completely counted Iowa out now after we had lost Iowa State, just knowing that we had this game on the schedule. The reason why we kicked their ass in 2017 is because we played loose. We had nothing to lose. And on top of that, we were doing like trick plays. Like we faked a field goal. Like we were making plays that were just out of our minds. And that's because like we knew that we were supposed to lose that game. That's how they have to play. And I haven't seen a single trick freaking play in like 4 years. So I don't know why that's just gone now. I don't know what happened there. But we need to loosen up. We do.
I like where your head's at. I mean, it's in the playbook, as we know. Just got to call it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a fake that we ran, I think on field goal, or I forgot if it was a fourth down. I don't know, that we had in our playbook for like 4 years, and we ran it once. But we still ran it. Like I haven't seen a trick play in 4 or 5 years, unless someone can tell me there was. I don't remember. So I don't know. We need to play loose. We need to just let it rip. In the words of McConaughey, let it fucking rip, and have some fun, and not go in there just having a freaking tight behind.
And do it early. Like this team it's really not built to come from behind, which is totally fine. I mean, that's kind of how Iowa's done it forever. But they they seriously, we got to jump off to a hot start. Get the run game going, trick plays early if you need them, but don't allow Ohio State to just march down the field 2 times in a row with their running backs, J.J. Smith, a bouquet. They have too many weapons. So for them to collapse at the end of the game, I find that doubtful. We have to jump out to the lead.
Well, here's also the problem too. So we did the same thing in 2017. We jumped out to the lead. We did the same thing in 22 when Joe had that fumble recovery for a touchdown. The difference between the two, that happened, and then we had like one turnover, and it was a freaking snowball. 2017, we scored off the first play of the game. They came down, threw like a 70-yard bomb right after, and we kept going. Like that game in 22, we didn't. We kind of gave up. So once, like, shit's going to hit the fan, obviously, every game it does. And it's a matter of if you can come back and run a play that will be just as good and get you in a good position to score, or you have a quick 3 and out, and all of a sudden they're back in offense. If it goes from for example, they score again, we get a 3 and out, and then they score again, momentum's completely switched. That game's probably over. We have to be firing the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, they look good so far. Our best strength here is the run game since so dominant, and Ohio State has a great secondary. I'll give them that. Like, probably the only one that can compete with us in the Big Ten right now, with Michigan as well. Will Johnson's been having a great year. But honestly, I don't think we're going to throw it that much. So, like, you just got to beat down on the front 2 lines for them. Caleb Downs might not be a factor at safety because they're playing big bad Iowa. So
no, honestly, the way you game plan it, you got to. Good part about that, we'll have great control of the ball if we're running it well. Great control of the ball and clock, so we can make this game faster than it needs to be, especially if we're running well. They're probably, if we're running it well, going to bring Caleb Downs into the box to be another run fitter. When that happens, that's when you start doing pop passes to the tight end, drawing up schemes where the tight ends are open, little corner routes, little smash concept, or just bringing the receiver into the slot and running a post or a seam. But you got to establish that run game, especially with how well they've been doing. And that will open up easy pass plays, but it has to be established in the beginning.
A question for you. When you first got to college and were playing, Iowa was known for, you don't want to go to Kinnick at night. You don't want to play Iowa late in the season when they got nothing to lose. We were known as like an upset team. Like we were there to shatter people's seasons. And now it is completely flip-flopped. Our last 5 times in big game scenarios playing top 5 teams, we've really shit the bed. 3 times against Michigan, twice against Ohio State. Or once against Ohio State, once against Penn State last year.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why, like, has anything changed? What happens when you go into the locker room before the biggest game, your meetings that whole week leading up, that like Iowa thrived so well 6 years ago rather than now?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't want my answer to not offend people, but like I think it's just realistic. The guys we had in our team, I would say like the 2017 class, and then the guys that were a little older than us, like there were some bad dudes in there. Like bad meaning like very hard ass, like did not get like they were very locked in, bought in, knew what it took to really win tough games. And like you said, we were an upset team. We took teams to the fourth quarter basically every single time. And that was because that's how we trained. Like we trained to be in a situation where we're in the deep water with the team. We take them to the deep water and we can tread and they sink. It's simple as that. But like, I don't know. It's almost like we flipped, like you said, now we're a better first half team than second half. And that was never how it used to be. And that's why people used to complain about the games because like this is boring until the second half. It's like, well, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how we win games. Like we dominate people in the third and fourth quarter. But now it's like we get out to such hot starts and we can't sustain it. So to be honest with you, long answer. I don't know. I don't know why that's the case. But I totally agree with you. It does seem different. It seems like they're just not. If they come out hot in the first half, they're not staying hot in the second. And I'm not saying anything to those guys in the team. I think they're all very hard nosed, very tough dudes. Obviously, they're at Iowa for a reason, and every coach there molds them to be a tough ass dude. But I think it's a mentality at all. Like above all, it's a mentality. You have to know we're going to take this team into the fourth quarter. Doesn't matter who it is, and that's where we'll win. And I feel like that's where a lot of guys. That's where they all need to be on the same page with. Is like even if it is a boring game, that's what it's gonna take to beat this team.
Yeah, that would play into our hands well. If we can slow them down. JJ Smith you just throw the ball up to him and he's gone.
Yeah, and like that's another thing. I think I don't know how they're going to play it defensively. I don't know if they'll play zone, if they'll put Jamar on JJ Smith. But I know Jamar. He's a tough ass dude, and he is a guy who has that mentality where it's like he knows this guy is going to be the key to their offense, and if he can lock him down, changes the game. Absolutely changes it, and he has the capability to do so.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, that Castro's due for a big game too. In the cash position. I mean, he's a big like the hits that he's been delivering. You're waiting for a ball to get knocked loose.
100%, and that's the big thing about that too. If Jamar's shutting JJ Smith down, you leave Castro open to make more plays, gives him more flexibility on the defensive side. I mean, we could suck the air out of the freaking shoe pretty quick, and if that happens, it'll be an interesting game. And I think Castro has the ability as a defensive player to change a game single-handedly. But I mean, again, Jamar's got to do a good job if they're putting him against JJ Smith, which I don't know if they're going to or not. But I wouldn't be surprised.
How do you game plan for 2 All-American receivers and 2 All-American running backs? Because they can hit you with the run game or the pass game.
That's the tough part, and that's where the mentality comes in. It's like you really have to be. This game means more to, or it matters more to them because they have more to lose. Okay, I shouldn't say it matters more. They have more to lose than we do. So, like mentality-wise, you have to go into it being like, we got nothing to lose. I'm going to play my balls off, do as much as I can to stop whoever I'm going against. The All-American label, you can't think about it. I mean, obviously, they're good players. They're going to make plays. In a situation where you got 2 receivers that are All-Americans, you almost just got to hope that one of them doesn't have a breakout game if you can shut down the other one. You got to pick out who's the most important one to guard, and obviously it's been J.J. Smith this year, but also Buka has the ability to have an absolute breakout game too. So it's a tough game. It's a tough game. You got to have the mentality that you can win, and that any situation where a turnover is possible, some switches, you have to take advantage of it on offense. And same with defense, you can't give up big plays.
Yeah, the bend don't break mentality is it's been awesome for Iowa in the entirety of Phil Parker's career. See, man, we got a lot of big forces on the Iowa State or Ohio State side of the ball here.
Big for it. And also another thing, and I think this will be another key too. Who's your quarterback? Will Howard.
Yep.
Getting pressure on Will Howard. If our D line can break through the O line, make him move out of the pocket, make him scramble, that'll change the game. The reason why he's been getting so successful is because he's sitting in the pocket. He knows his receivers can throw it up to. He's comfortable back there, and he's comfortable with who he's throwing to. If we can make him uncomfortable by getting out of the pocket, putting a lot of pressure on him as a D line, maybe throwing some blitzes at him, it could throw him off the game. And obviously, if a quarterback has a bad game, it doesn't look good for the offense.
Yeah, I honestly, looking at their schedule right now, I don't think they've been tested yet. They had Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, and then Michigan State, who has not been themselves really since Kenneth Walker was there. But this kind of serves as a trap game here.
It's a huge trap game, humongous for them.
A trap game. They're about to go on the road the following weekend to Oregon, ranked number 6. This is kind of their first time being tested, but October 12th, that has been marked on every single person's calendar in the country who watches football. Their first crack at Oregon, that's presumably right now the front runners for the Big Ten championship game. A little trap game action, maybe look ahead. Iowa's fresh off a bye week. How do you think bye week and the extra rest plays into Iowa's scheme and how they perform on Saturday?
I mean, obviously, it's more of a pro than a con. I actually totally forgot Ohio State's playing Oregon the week after. It is a humongous trap game for them, especially since the fact that our defense is significantly better than any of the teams they've played. So going from Michigan State was better than the rest of the teams they'll play before them. Now going from Michigan State to Iowa is a big jump, and it could be a shocker for them. So trap game for Iowa. I mean, you're well rested. You don't want to game plan too hard the week before the actual game week. You want to give yourself as much rest as you can. Get the guys who are borderline healthy back to being healthy and ready to go. Obviously, like Luke said in the podcast, I mean, every guy's watching the Ohio State Michigan State game just to kind of see what it looks like. A little pre-film to the actual film that you'll be studying for the game leading up. But I think it's great. It's a good way to get off your feet, get everyone healthy, and just get as many guys as you can ready to go to play a team like that on the road before a very, very big game the weekend after.
Yeah, gosh, they have a gauntlet, dude. I'm looking at their schedule. They go Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska at home, and then on the road against Penn State. And then they have Purdue Northwestern, but they end with Indiana and Michigan. So very tough schedule ahead for them. This game is pretty big. You can't.
I'll throw a prediction at you. I bet you they lose in Nebraska at home.
Wow.
It's at Nebraska, right?
It's at Ohio State. That game.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. I thought it was at Nebraska.
They're at Penn State, though.
No, I think they'll still kick Penn State's ass.
I do too, especially the way that game went last night with Illinois. Yeah, I don't know. It's a trap game. It's one they can't afford to lose. But if you're looking ahead, you can't lose to Iowa. We don't really know how this Ohio State team is because they haven't been tested yet. They haven't played a great team, and they've just wiped the floor with the teams they've had in front of them. So I think we'll learn a lot about them right in the first quarter there, and we got to slow the tempo down.
Yep, absolutely. It'll be an interesting game to watch. They're going to try and the first half is close. Iowa cannot break in the second half. There will be a point where it'll be either we break or we're going to make it a close game. And it'll come down to one drive. And they got to like you said, bend and not break. They got to stay strong.
Yeah, bent don't break. It'll be awesome. One thing I do want to get to: NFL Hawks
They're
dominate.
killing it. You know?
Riley Moss 2 weeks in a row. He had a forced fumble last week, fumble recovery this week, dominating in the tackle department. He's crushing, and they're picking on him. He's gone against great quarterbacks.
Awesome. It's great.
Played Aaron Rodgers today, and they gave up 9 points.
Yeah. And freaking Garrett Wilson fumbled.
Yeah, and he recovered it.
He recovered it. DeJean's
did you see DeJean's plays today?
I didn't, but I was hearing a lot of good things.
Well, no. So he got his team's really got to figure it out. Two plays in a row. First punt return, his own guy blocks a Bucs defender right into him. So technically he muffs it. It's not running into the receiver there.
Yeah.
So technically a muff. Bogus by his own player. That was a little friendly fire. And then the next punt return, he's going down and his guy just rams right into him when the ball's in the air. He hit him so quick though that the ball never hit him, so that one was not a fumble. But yeah. I mean, the special teams, watching Iowa on Saturdays, like gunners getting down there, the punt coverage, they're always there for the tackle right away. It's incredible how fundamentally sound Iowa is compared to these NFL teams who just watching Torrey's punts. We're a lot more dialed in to watch those. He could have 5 seconds of hang time, and the guys are still they can't track the ball down. They're not there for the tackle right away. It's remarkable.
Dude, I will say, Torrey, when I first got to Iowa, it was catching punts was significantly different. Obviously the punters were actually it wasn't some a DB that also played punter. It was an actual guy who was there to punt the ball. Ryan was hard to catch. Sleep was tough to catch. Dude, when I tell you, Torreys were fucking impossible. When they would do punt period. So they the punt returners back there just to catch the ball. So you got practice while the punt team is working on stuff. So I'd be back there catching it. And dude, it was fucking tough. I'd be trying to catch it. If you dropped one, you'd hear Coach Ferentz on the other side of the field. It's on fucking air. You shouldn't be dropping the ball. And then I'm like, oh, dude. And then you just get reamed in special teams being brutal. He is. I think he's gonna go down as the best punter in NFL history.
He was remarkable today for the Bears. The 64-yarder that lands out of bounds at the 8, that flips the game.
He changes games. He actually changes games. It's incredible to see.
And it's just fun watching an entire city realize, punters might really be important.
Yeah. I mean, getting him is a blessing on your team. He is just dominant, dude. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hawks, though. NFL Hawks, there's so many to name. Lindy, dominant. Dude, I watched the Ravens game the other night. He just runs over dudes. It's just unbelievable. AJ dominated.
AJ tonight, I'm excited for him.
It's unbelievable.
I'm going to bet on him to get a sack tonight. That's a good point.
There you
go. But yeah, AJ's dominant. Wirfs today had a funny when they scored a touchdown. Brady was announcing, and he's like, "Look at Tristan Wirfs out here," and he's just dragging a DB past the end zone. They get Tristan Wirfs out in space.
It's unreal. It's cool to see those guys just kicking ass. Honestly, it's sick to see Moss dominating. I love it.
I can't believe it.
It's literally he's playing on Iowa again.
Yeah. Every team he goes to, it's the defense just has to keep shutting them down. And they do. And he's a major part of it because Surtain's locked down. So they got to pick on him.
Yeah.
They got 2 islands.
They do. They're incredible. It's awesome.
Moss Island.
I'm going to Denver in 2 weeks to go see him play. I don't know if it's the Raiders. I don't know who it is, but I think we're getting a couple guys go down there. I got to buy my ticket still. Might be a little pricey, but hey, yo,
Broncos against the Chargers. Nice.
Oh, nice, dude. You know who I love? Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, touchdown today.
Oh my! I just watched it. He is so filthy.
His routes are just pure,
crispy as can be. He is so sick. He's in Nico Collins too. Holy shit!
Yeah, that guy had a major. I don't know how to describe it. A glow up in the NFL.
No, they just didn't use him on Michigan.
Exactly.
Well, you know,
yeah.
Oliver Martin, when he said he was at Michigan, he goes, bro, Nico Collins is the greatest 50-50 ball like receiver I've ever seen in my life. And then now he's like one of the best receivers in the NFL. Like he's filthy.
Yeah. Guy's a treat to watch.
Yeah.
Right now in college football, the Georgia-Bama game last night was incredible. But
Carson Beck kind of sucks.
Yeah, he does. He's not going to be any. The Georgia team, I'm glad they lost because they won't get the same hype Bama will. So if they're a 1-loss team if they're a 2-loss team, same with Ole Miss, 2-loss team going into battle for the selection committee, week 13, 14 after. I think you leave Georgia out again.
I 100%.
If they're 2-loss teams,
dude. If they're 2 losses, well, I think you also leave Ole Miss shouldn't be in there, right?
Yep.
Okay, good because they suck. Like they're a very overrated like SEC team this year. Georgia, they're just not the same Georgia.
No.
I will say this. I hate to say it. I hate to say this because my buddy was a big Georgia fan in Charleston, and I used to give him so much shit about it. But you know who is filthy? Stetson Bennett.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was actually sick for Georgia. Like, and I never really thought that. And then I'm like, yeah, he was actually phenomenal.
Here's an overreaction, but Georgia could go 8-4.
Who they got left?
They play at Texas.
That's a loss.
At Ole Miss.
They'll kill Ole Miss.
And then Tennessee, I think, is the best team in the country right now.
Dude, Texas is better than Texas. Okay.
All right,
let me say. Texas with Quinn Ewers is the best team in the country.
I think Texas is very overrated. They haven't really played anyone. They dominated Michigan, but Michigan's not the same team.
Who's Tennessee?
Look at them, Michigan. Minnesota got screwed this week.
Yeah, they did.
On the offsides. Welcome to the show, Minnesota.
Wait, well, who has Tennessee played that's good?
Tennessee played Oklahoma. They just throttled them in the first half. They didn't have to do anything in the second half. Let's see.
Texas has had better wins than Tennessee.
No, Texas only played Michigan.
Who else has Tennessee played besides Oklahoma?
They played Oklahoma.
Exactly. And Michigan's better than Oklahoma.
No, Oklahoma would beat Michigan by a lot.
No, they would not. No, they would not.
Michigan looks terrible.
Michigan sucks, but like Oklahoma is not that good.
Our schedule, we played Penn State last year, but yeah, I don't know. Oregon, I don't even think looks that good.
Seeing a Texas versus Tennessee national championship would be awesome.
Yeah, or SEC championship.
Or SEC championship.
It's going to be crazy because there's only 7 spots, at-large spots available. So if you don't win your conference, there's 7.
Yeah, I mean.
What do? You split it 2 Big Ten, probably 3 SEC, and then.
I really think the Big Ten championship is going to be, I think Indiana's the Big Ten championship.
Oh, they are great. The transfers they've gotten, the quarterback just finds open receivers, and he finds the windows.
Your coach is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You see the video of him, and he's like, people don't know who I am, just Google me.
Yeah.
They show like the Google search, and he's like 117 and like 19 like overall. It's like insane. He's a stud. I think it's going to be okay. Early predictions: Big Ten championship. Who you got in the game? Not winner, just in the game.
I'm going Ohio State, and I'm going to go Ohio State, Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going Ohio State, Indiana.
I like it. They just play too late in the season, so I don't see a rematch there.
I could see it,
but
I don't think Oregon's going to make it.
Here's one thing. We got a lot of pretenders in the Big Ten. Rutgers is getting a lot of hype. They're pretenders, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think they're pretenders. I think they're getting a lot of hype because they're – what are they – what's their record?
Yeah, I think they're 4-0, but –
yeah, like you kind of got to get hyped for that.
Yeah, you got to get hyped.
Who they be?
I think Indiana deserves the hype. Rutgers does not. They're a little bit of a pretender right now. Oregon, pretenders. They're not a top 10 team.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I also think it's because they're playing a real fucking schedule now.
Yeah, exactly. Man,
it's
been great, though. Big Ten is dominating the Pac-12 across the board.
Dominating. And it's funny because, like, they made a big deal.
Upset alert with USC.
Who won that game?
USC did.
Dude, I think, like...
Oh, yeah, you fell asleep.
Yeah. I can give a shit about both those teams. I think it's funny because, like, people are freaking out about the Michigan-USC game. Like, yeah, it was a great game. Both those teams should not be in the top 20.
Yeah.
It was like two top 20 teams should not have been in the top 20. They're
right.
both not that good. It's pretty bad. Okay, dude, Rutgers beat Virginia Tech and Washington.
Yeah.
Those are two good wins.
I got to see it. I like our chances against Washington a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a close spread that I'm going to hit.
Washington's trash.
Agreed. But yeah, a lot of pretenders in the Big Ten. Iowa's going to prove their worth this weekend. Close game, another shot at CBS. Time to go win a ball game.
Time to go back to the real upset, boys.
That's right. All right, enjoy this interview with Columbus native Luke Lachey. All right, it's been a long time coming. We have probably one of our favorite guests of all time human being, Lukey Heisman, has joined us on the show.
That means a lot. I'm excited to be back on the show. It's been too long. Third time as a guest. And
let's go. That's big. That's a milestone.
That's right.
For our show.
Breaking records right now.
That's right. Uh-oh. Is that right?
I would say 3 is the most. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can hit 4, I think you'd take the cake for the most. Because I think we have
no doubt.
There we go. Let's do it again.
Let's go. So tight end we're back at it. Eric All is a beast. The Bengals game just wrapped up. They love him in Cincinnati.
Really? I didn't see what he do today. We were at meetings.
He just had a big block on the touchdown run. I was like, all right, there we go.
That's what they love him though. That's what he said. He said that, his opportunities more so coming from his blocking more than anything. He's like, everyone can go out there and run routes and stuff, but when you go out there and when you go out there and block, that's where it really comes from.
Oh yeah,
well, it's sweet. They're throwing him in motion, and then he just lays a block on the end, and Chase Brown's in the end zone. It's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, those glide blocks coming from outside in, coming in just slamming the end. He loves those like sift blocks and seal blocks coming off the side. He's good at them too.
Oh yeah.
We got to start doing. once draft time rolls around, you'll probably just see a bunch of you'll be tagged in a lot of stuff because we're just going to go full blown propaganda. Luke Lachey, #1 overall pick.
Okay, there we go. If this is the only way it'll happen, if you guys get that stuff out there, so get it going.
Jack is the king of propaganda, so you can do it. You will be in good hands.
There we go.
Easily.
Nothing better than seeing like, oh, I was tagged in something, if I got on Twitter and it's just Jack posting like Luke Heisman or something like that. Just putting that out there.
Let's fire it up, baby. Come on.
Gotta get
Heisman campaign starts. So let's just set the background. Ohio State week. People don't know this, but the Hawks are going to just roll on in, take what's theirs, and own Ohio State again. But regardless of that, your dad is the radio host for Buckeyes, and then also he played there. Yeah. Legendary football player. Does he give you inside information? How does this work?
I wish. I don't really ask for the inside information. He sees them play every week, so he knows some of their tendencies and stuff. But I kind of asked like some about like their defensive guys, but nothing crazy. Nothing like too in particular. I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't think he would get in trouble if he'd tell me something like that, but try to stay away from that. And obviously he would never give any inside information from us to them, so we're just trying to stay clean, I guess.
Look, I think we talked about this last time, but so like when Iowa plays Ohio State, obviously your dad's cheering for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is he cheering for Iowa to beat Ohio State?
Yeah, I think he definitely is cheering for us. Collectively. Yeah, he when Joe Evans got the strip sack last time and put it in, they were all the radio guys were like giving each other high fives, and they were kind of looking at each other afterward and be like, are we supposed to be doing this right now? Like, we're calling for the game for the Buckeyes, not the Hawkeyes. And it's cool. They're always watching our game. Whenever we're playing at the same time, he's always got his iPad on and our game's on like YouTube TV. So he's like watching, and obviously calling the Ohio State game, but then he's got our game on there too. So they're always watching and they're always cheering for us too. So it's cool.
That's awesome. That is electric. I love it.
It's insane how loud on that strip sack, the Joe Evans one.
Mm-hmm.
The stadium got so loud. I was still in the concourse walking in. I thought Ohio State had scored. It was that loud.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah, it was loud. I remember that place just gets loud. I feel like I don't know. Like I don't know. It's just
100,000 people.
Exactly. Like even for when it's quiet, it's still loud. I remember when I used to go to games there. It would always be like a big game. Everyone's standing and cheering and stuff. I would just like mess around and like sit down because it would be really quiet when you're sitting down because all the noise is like blocked out. Then you'd stand up and then it would be really loud. And I just go back and forth just playing this game, just to like mess around with the noise. But it's just a kid. As a kid, I'm just kind of messing around, trying to have fun at a game. But
I mean, dude, that place is Columbus as a whole is a great city. I still have not gone to like the campus of Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I've heard it's awesome. I've heard it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. My girlfriend went there and a bunch of my buddies and my whole family. So I just, whenever I'd go, it was always like a good time, just hanging out there. It's not the safest place in the world, but it's fun and it's a good time if you're in the right areas. I know my brother goes there still, not to their campus, but like the Short North area.
Okay.
Have you been there, Coop? In that area?
I was like downtown.
Yeah.
I was by where the Columbus Blue Jackets play.
Okay. Yeah.
So how far is that from campus?
Oh, I mean, there's like this one road, High Street, that just goes like all the way. Okay. So I mean, that's probably like 10 minutes from Ohio State's campus.
Okay. Yeah, because the downtown area was awesome. Like I was shocked at how much I liked it. We actually we were there for a work trip, and I was at Brothers on a Wednesday night at like midnight. I'm
Yeah.
at work, and I'm like, "Jeez, dude."
Yeah, if you kept on going, what is that, north from Brothers, you just run right into Ohio State's campus.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
yeah, that's like at the end.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we were just kind of touring the whole city that when we were there, but yeah, Columbus, great city. It's gonna be freaking flooded with some Hawkeye fans.
Oh
So
yeah, it will. I'm excited for that.
How many tickets like do you get for that? Like, how many family members, friends come to that game when you go?
There's gonna be a lot. Luckily, I've gotten like 11 tickets from other guys so far.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's solid. So I have my own 4, then plus 11. But most people are gonna buy their own tickets, or like you can buy tickets through like
Right.
that one. So they'll do that. But then a lot of people will just like have their own. Like my uncle's also the equipment manager at Ohio State.
Okay.
So he gets 4 tickets, and so some of my family members will have those, and some others just have season tickets still, and so it all works out. And then a lot of my friends they'll just have to buy them too. But
that's sweet. I didn't know your uncle was the equipment manager.
yeah, he was the Greg of Ohio State.
That is awesome.
Yeah. No, he's done it his whole life. Like I don't know. I think he's done it straight out of college. It's like he's going on like 40 years or 30, like close to 40 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It was fun going there growing up because he'd like, give me a pair of shoes every once in a while. And I always thought that was like the coolest thing, having a new pair of Nikes.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool.
What's the craziest game you've seen in the shoe?
Probably Ohio State, Michigan, 2016 when it went to double overtime. And they scored on that, that kind of sweep run to end it. My brother and I were sitting together, and we looked at each other. We were like, let's storm. So we went and stormed the field. It was cool.
That's awesome.
It was fun. And our brother-in-law now, he's just dating my sister at the time, but he was playing. He was a starting center. So my brother left me to fend for myself and went and found him. I didn't know where he was going, so I just was kind of chilling there by myself. But it was cool. It was a good time. But there's been a lot of good games played there. But now I just you just want to go in there and make it a great game for us this weekend. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
Right before you jumped on, Luke was telling us about the 2008 Iowa game at the Horseshoe.
Yeah.
I honestly, dude, I don't remember. I don't know of any games before the year of 2015 for Iowa.
Yeah. So basically, it was they were like if Ohio State won, they had a share of the Big Ten title with Iowa.
Okay.
But then if they beat Michigan the next week, they had like the outright like Big Ten champions. And so it was like basically that was the game to send. Whoever won that game was going to the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
And it was 24-24 in overtime. And Ohio State kicked a game-winning field goal to win it. And I was at that game too. And like I remember coming on my official visit and like sitting in Rita's office getting ready to talk to Coach Ferentz. And Tyler Barnes was in there, and I was like, yeah, I remember this game. Like, that was so much fun, like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, it wasn't so much fun for us. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then obviously the one in 2017, I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I didn't even watch that game. I was at Cincinnati playing basketball with one of my college friends, just messing around that the whole time. And I just remember like getting off, we were like, dang, Iowa smoked Ohio State today, like blah, blah, blah. And, and obviously now it's cool. Like I watch those, 2017 highlights a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the 2008 one, I need to go. I was telling Jack, I need to go back and rewatch those. And because we were talking about, it was at Tony Moyaki, we think had the 60.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have to go check that out. But yeah, we gotta. Tight ends are gonna have to, come up big there. So.
Oh yeah, big time. It's gonna be. It's gonna. I mean, I really haven't seen Ohio State's like defense this year. I have no idea. I mean, obviously it's Ohio State. Their offense is pretty crazy.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys returning on defense. They got like several guys that could probably gone to the NFL last year, and a lot of them decided to come back for another year for their fourth season.
Okay.
I think it was like that kind of like one guy came back and then led to someone else, and they all just kind of started coming back.
Right.
Kind of similar to what we did too with a lot of our guys that came back last year. But yeah, I just think it was something like that for them.
Yeah,
Ohio State's got a bankroll.
Yeah, they really do. They got like 15 bankrolls.
Yeah, they do probably.
I would argue that it's going to be interesting on our defensive side how we're going to scheme. Because I mean, that Jeremiah Smith kid out of the world, and then they have some other kid like Henderson or
Travion Henderson is their running back.
Who's their other receivers? Number one.
No, that's the other running back, Quidshad Junkins.
Who am I thinking of? Wait,
thinking of Emeka Egbuka, probably number 2.
No, is there? Oh, maybe that is a running back. It's like his first name begins with a Q.
Quidshad Junkins.
Oh, it's that guy. It is that guy.
Yeah, he transferred from Ole Miss.
Dude, he's pretty sick too.
Yeah, they just got explosive guys at every position.
They do. It's their usual shit.
Exactly. They're just good athletes, and but yeah, no, I think our mentality is you just can't go in, like Cade said the other day, like a lot of teams go in scared, and worried, and a lot of teams end up playing their worst game. And if you just go in with the right mindset, and we're not going to take anything from them, and just go in ready to walk through the front doors and kind of take what ours kind of mentality. We're gonna try to go out there and play our best football. So that's all we can do, and it should be good for us.
And honestly, like you said earlier, it's really about no turnovers. I mean, granted, that's every game, but this one most importantly because they're going to capitalize on all of them.
Yeah, everything tightens up a little bit, in big games like this, and obviously, you want to strive for that in every game, but when you're playing the number 3 team in the country, everything's got to, your techniques and your first steps, all that stuff has to be good. So
yeah.
That was even 2 years ago. We had 7 turnovers in our own territory.
Yeah.
Like the defense played very well. There were a lot of fumbles and picks though in our own territory.
Yeah.
That was the famous Torrey Taylor running for the first down play too.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Legendary.
Yeah. I don't think Coach Woods was too happy about that one.
What year was that?
That was 2022.
Oh, okay, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But you look at if 7 turnovers is a lot, but if we win the turnover battle that game, it's probably going to be a close game at the end.
Probably going to be a little closer than what it was. And 7 turnovers is insane. I wonder what the record is for Iowa and especially under Coach Ferentz's tenure, because
that was probably close.
Yeah, it was probably close because typically we're good, keeping the ball and securing it, and getting takeaways. And to have, I think we had a couple of takeaways. We had the fumble, and then Jack Campbell had the interception. It's a +5 or a -5 takeaway or to turnover ratio. It's just not going to win games like that. So
what's tough too is in the situation where you guys do have a turnover, in an environment like that, it's so easy for those just to keep snowballing, like that 7 turnover game. Whereas, if you guys had the mindset of, hey, it's one, move past it, and that's it, you're fine.
Right.
But it is so easy to just have them pile up after one, especially in a loud ass place like the freaking shoe.
Right.
It'll be interesting. That'll be fun. That's gonna be a fun game, man. I'm sure you're excited. I'm assuming this is your favorite game to play in.
Yeah, it'll be cool to be able to go back. It's 10 minutes from home. A lot of family will be there. I don't want to make it more than what it is.
Right.
It's obviously just another game, but I guess it's a little bit more than that at the same time. But I don't want to psych myself out or stress out a little bit too much over it because it's just football at the end of the day. It's just we got to play in front of a lot of family, and you know, in a place I'm, you know, kind of, I don't know, I used to be a fan of, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Has your dad practiced a touchdown call for when you get in the end zone Saturday?
I don't know. That's a good question. I should ask him, and maybe I could ask him to do it for me because I wouldn't be able to hear it. So no,
Yeah,
it'd
seriously.
be funny.
Oh, that is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, be a good moment.
How's it been getting back into, like, obviously you were out most of the year last year with injury. How's it been getting back into football shape, game speed, hitting the ground running right away?
Yeah, it's been good. You know, obviously, I think it took all of the 4, you know, first games to really feel good about myself and stuff like that. Because you know, you can only do so much like in workouts. You know, like you start to feel good then, and then you start to feel good in practice, and then you get to games, and it's just like kind of a whole different animal, you know, in that sense. So, you know, to get that back under me, you know, throughout the course of the first 4 games was good, and you know, I'm feeling really good. So. Haven't had, you know, many issues with my ankle, and just trying to continue to, you know, keep the rest of my body healthy. So it's been fun. That's all I can say.
That's so. Wait, what year is this? Year 5 for you?
Year 5, yeah. You were talking about it on the last podcast with Hayden so much about how year 5 you were just, everyone was calling you grandpa and stuff, and you felt so old. Now I'm just like, gosh, that's me, you know.
Dude.
And luckily, like for me, it's like I don't necessarily. I do feel that way, especially like what some of my teammates were born in 2006. You know,
Yeah.
Oh man.
yeah, 2006. Not
Oh
wild.
my gosh, dude.
What year were you born? Were you?
I was 2001. I told some of the freshmen that at the beginning of the, like during fall camp, and they were like 2001. They were like, "Were you born for 9/11?" I was like, "Yeah, I was. I was like a couple months old."
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, and they were just like all shocked. And then I was thinking about it, and I think like Sean Byer was probably born in 96 or not, maybe 97.
Yeah.
No, but because he was older, like because he, you know, and now I'm just thinking it's like I have teammates that were like 10 years apart, you know, from each other. I don't, maybe you think he was 97, but
Yeah, dude. Now there's no people on the team that are 90s babies anymore.
no, I don't think so. Yeah, it's all 2000s because I like, luckily for me, like there's some older guys still, like 2000s, you know, they're
Right.
the 6-year guys are
Yeah.
still older, but yeah, I think everyone's 2000 baby.
Oh wait, Nick Jackson might be a 90s baby.
No, he's 2001. He's
What
young.
about Cade?
Cade's 2000. He's 24 now. But
What the heck, dude?
yeah,
Gosh, that's weird.
I know.
Well, I
That's
mean,
awesome, man.
we were
Young
talking about
studs.
the receiver from Bama. He was born in 2007.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like I remember that was a great year of music. I remember that to this day.
Did Replay come out that year?
I think it was the year after. But that dude,
Okay, that was a great song too.
2007. That was like I think that was when like the first Transformers got released.
Okay, yeah, I'd imagine.
That is insane.
I know. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, that makes me feel so old, dude. Holy cow, 2006.
Dude, like when you see 2007, you do math in your head. Like, there's no way this kid's in college. He's got to be in middle school.
Right.
Is there anything, Luke? Is there anything that you've like said or like referenced for the kids in the team, or like, I guess you could say kids in the team that are 18?
Yeah.
That they've been like, what are you talking about? And you're like, oh my gosh, you're too young for that.
Right. There's a TV show that we were talking about in the tight ends room, and Hayden and I and maybe Johnny Pascuzzi were the only 3 that knew what it was or something like that. And I can't remember what it was, but that was during fall camp. Or it was like some type of video. Oh, you know what it was? It was you remember the one video? It was like Ratata.
Yeah, swag, got that swag, bitch.
Yeah. It was that video. No one else had seen it, and I was like, "What? That's what this video is." Like, this video is iconic.
Dude, that was Vine, wasn't it?
Yeah, Vine. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know what Vine was, or like we were like, "What's 9 + 10?" And someone was like 19, like
21.
21.
Oh my!
Like, what are you doing? Like,
dude.
you don't know the joke? It's wild.
That's crazy.
I know.
Dude, I will say it is like you see, even like going back to Iowa City, it's like, man, I feel like half the people here are maybe 15 years old.
Right.
Like everyone seems so young now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
No,
weird.
I get that even sometimes when I go out.
So so now it's your 5th year. Are you excited to be moving on after Iowa? Obviously, it's a conversation I'd love to have with you after the season because we're still in the middle of the season. But like as each game finishes and you keep going to the next one, are you like, damn, I'm like one game closer to being done with Iowa football?
Yeah. Actually today during our team meeting, Coach Ferentz like breaks off like, the seasons from, we had 4 games and we got a bye week.
Yeah.
Next we're gonna have 6 games and a bye week and 2.
Right.
Right now we're in our 6-week block, and I was looking at it and I was like, this is crazy. There's only 8 more, guaranteed games I have left, as a Hawkeye.
Yeah, dude.
I was sitting there kind of shocked. It's crazy because I feel like I just got here, coming out in 2020 to the with no fans out there, just the cardboard boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I mean, it's wild how fast it's gone. And no, it's like bittersweet, I'm excited to, for new opportunities, and obviously want to take in everything I have left because, it's definitely special. And you hear a lot of people talk about how great Iowa is and how the coaching staff is amazing. And, when you go on, there's never going to be like a coach as good as Coach Ferentz, and
right.
you don't want to take that for granted. So I'm just excited to continue to be here and play in every game I can.
Yeah.
How's KF doing now? What is he? He's in
good.
his 70s?
69.
69.
Yeah, wow. 69. Yeah, he's oh man, he's so healthy, and he's always working out, exercising, on his bike or lifting weights. He always does push-ups. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see walking after meetings, and you look down in the weight room and you see him grinding, and it's super cool. But
just a silver fox he is.
That's
he is, man. He's ageless.
Yeah, that's right. And he's all, and that's the thing too. Like at practice, he's always coaching and making sure everyone's doing the right thing and holding everyone accountable. So it's cool to see him continuing to do that stuff over the years. I mean, and obviously I haven't been here for so long in his tenure, but I'm sure he was like that when he started, and he's still doing it. So it's cool.
It's crazy. 5 years. He's been there, 25 years? So
yeah, I guess
a quarter. 5th of his tenure.
5th, yeah, quarter. My math, 5th.
That's
it's
impressive how long he's been coaching there. How about Tim Lester? Obviously there's been a lot of changes. We see ton of motion now.
Yeah.
We see a lot of changes with specifically at fullback going, and Hayden does a little flex tight end, fullback back there. But how's that been getting used to the new offense?
Yeah, it's been good. Coach Lester's great. We all really like him, and obviously love Brian. I can't talk too much about Coach Lester without someone else bringing up Brian and the comparison there. And it's hard to compare. It's 2 different offenses in that sense, but. Brian's a man. I'm looking forward to seeing him at Maryland. But yeah, Coach Lester's great. It's been a lot of fun, learning a new offense. And obviously it's really a pro style offense with the Shanahan system. And, to see turn on the Packers game, and we were just watching the end of it against the Vikings, and you see some of the same plays that we run, and then the 49ers run the same playbook too. And it's cool just to see the similarities. I remember George came back for a meeting during spring ball because him and his wife went to one of the Iowa women's playoff games, I think.
Right.
Games. He showed up for meetings in the morning, and he asked if we had this one play because it's this play. It's basically a 2 tight end blocking combo, or one guy comes and runs across it's like a motion before the play, and then the Y would block the end, and then this F tight end will go and hit the end too, and then work up to the Sam. And he's just like, you guys having that play in, and to see the similarities from that, it's pretty cool. He's making sure, and we have this play because that's his favorite play. He says to run, and so it's cool to see that they're running it right now, and it's just been a lot of fun. And obviously, with the run game, it's been working well for us, and we just got to keep working to make sure it keeps going because Caleb's been doing a great job of finding the holes, and any back that's really been in there. Jazz had a great game last week too, and it's just been fun to open up the holes for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of wild too. Like, is all 4 of the running backs have like their own style of running? It's not like one or the other one.
Exactly.
And like having like a 4-headed monster at running back is a pretty wild, unusual thing to have.
Yeah, we got a stacked room.
Yeah, it's a great room, and I'm sure it's fun to block for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to see the changes that have happened in the offense.
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems like because Lester was at Western Michigan, right?
Yeah.
And they were a hurry up offense.
I think it's really similar. They probably were. I don't remember for sure, but for sure.
It seems like it's almost they're implementing a faster tempoed offense compared to. I mean, obviously, when we had Brian, it was definitely more slower pace. But I mean, honestly, I kind of still see similarities between both of them, especially in the run game.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's interesting to see the changes and the similarities this season, especially.
For sure. And like for what you said about like us speeding it up, like we have like tempo, like easy like tempo calls, like
there's
like one word things that'll get us into a play and just kind of go, and that stuff's fun because we scored I think 2 touchdowns on it against Troy, and like we're snapping the ball before their nose tackle's getting his hands down. So when you're doing that, you got a pretty good chance of getting 4, 5, 6 yards, and then if you can get that untouched, you can easily score and with our running backs, and so it's cool, and it's not like something that we got to freak out about. When we hear that, it's just like hustle the line and just be ready to go. It's not like we're there's some plays that we have where it's like we have 2 seconds left in the game, we got to get on the ball, and like maybe freak out a little bit there, but as far as like the tempo there, like there's no freaking out. You're just running the play, you know what it is, so you just get up to the line and go. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
How was it playing Minnesota in above freezing weather?
Oh, it was great. I was like, oh my gosh, it was awesome. On Monday, the Monday before we went there, I was talking to some of the tight ends, and I was telling them, I was like, this is like, you guys don't even get like how strange this is. And some of them did. Addison was there, but Johnny Pascuzzi, but like I was like, you guys don't even get how weird this feels. Like the sun's beating down on us right now. We're in short sleeves, like nothing like that. And we're gonna go up to Minnesota, and it's gonna be like this weather. Like it's weird, after being what was it, 10 degrees when we played there in 22.
It was 10 degrees like every single game we played there.
Yeah, exactly. In 2020, it was like that. It was freezing, and then 2021 here, it was chilly, but it wasn't as near as cold as what it was in 22. But
Minnesota is just a cold state, man.
Yeah, it is, and we just usually play them later on in the season. So like to play them in week 4 was just, I don't know, it was just the weather was just different, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
It was that game was awesome. Just seeing like Iowa regain possession of the trophy, that was great. Just anytime PJ Fleck loses to Iowa, it's just a treat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fleck, man, he's a nutcase, dude. Brady Ross.
Brady Ross? Is Brady Ross not like him?
No, they look exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, I could see it. That's funny.
Brady Ross used to love quote. Me and him used to quote PJ Fleck all the time. We thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
Gosh, Brady Ross has a Halloween costume forever. He just wear the PJ Fleck suit and sunglasses, and then
the tie and the all.
So easy.
His kid could be the Floyd of Rosedale.
That would be electric.
That would be good.
It's incredible. Well, yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to it. Iowa, I don't see another loss on our calendar. We're thinking 11-0 on our end.
Let's go.
It is crazy. Do they ever talk about now with the expanded Big Ten how like tiebreakers work, Big Ten championship implications? Like, what are you guys just stuck on game to game?
Yeah, we're stuck on game to game. I feel like Coach Ferentz is more, just one game at a time than looking at something like that. And like, I feel like if something came up like that, he would explain us that. But I don't think if like the problem isn't there to like arise at this moment, he's not going to worry about it, And I don't think maybe he doesn't even know. I'm sure he does at they probably did like some Big Ten conference, but
Yeah,
like some meeting there. But yeah, I've read a little bit of it, like just like some picture, and I had no idea what any of it meant.
dude, it's literally like I remember. Like, think about it now. Like when you're cheering for a team and someone's say like I'm a Lions fan, Jack, you're a Bears fan, and say we beat the freaking Packers, and then they beat you guys, but we were closer with them. It's like that situation where, well, they're technically better than the Bears then, even though they lost to them. Like there's so many like he said, she said things that actually do play into it this year.
Right.
It's just so random. Also, what I just said to you about the Bears thing, that made no fucking sense. I was trying to figure out as I was saying that, I'm like, and then I just lost it.
I got what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But yeah, it's literally like if we beat them by 40 and then they actually, I actually am having a really hard time explaining what I'm trying to say. So I'm
picking up what you're putting down.
Hey, we did. I don't know if you heard it in the Hayden episode, Luke, but we did find out you have the bad boy mentality now. Like you have an angry side.
The Wii golf. I did listen to that. He told me about it before I listened, but yeah, I was upset that day. He said I didn't talk to him last night. That's not true. I did talk to him. We were. It was me, him, and Brendan Sullivan, and it was fun. But yeah, for him to get me to have to take the hard shot, and then I was like, all right, I'm just going to take the easy shot, and then they're like, no, you can't do it now. You already did it once. So I probably was like I probably had like 15 shots on that hole, and I was like easily going to win. And so then I got second. I was so mad.
Luke, what was it? What was the game that we used to play?
Was it Skippo?
Was it Skippo?
The one with like the cart, yeah, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, like in the forward piles. We played that in the hotel every weekend. Or was it the Crazy Eights on the text message?
Dude, both were.
Both of them.
We used to have.
I was gonna say I always think about texting that group chat and just sending that in there on a trip.
Oh my gosh, it would be hilarious.
I might do that.
You should. We used to have a group chat, like the Crazy Eight game, Jack, the little like iMessage game. We would literally every time we get on the bus to go to the hotel, we would play that all the way there, and it was like intense games. Like people would talk crazy shit about it. And then after we'd play, was it Skippo in the room?
Yeah, Skippo.
What the hell is Skippo? I can't think of Skippo for some reason.
Remember, it's made by the same company as Uno, so it's not really similar, but basically like there's 4 piles so you have your own deck of cards and you have to like get rid of them, and then you get like 5 cards and you have to like put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you go up all the way to 12. The goal of your game, and you work with your partner to get rid of like your pile of cards. You remember that now?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
It's way easier to explain when you actually have the cards.
Yeah, right.
Let me see. I think I got them over here. Hold on.
Dude, we used to. I remember like screaming, laughing when we used to play that, because it was like.
Remember this?
Dude, are you sure it was Skippo?
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was Skippo.
Maybe it was Skippo.
Pretty sure it was. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was Skippo. We play spades sometimes too.
It might have been spades. I don't know.
It might have been spades.
We play cards all the time. Or are you sure it wasn't euchre?
Might have been euchre. Yeah, it was spades. It was spades. We
Okay.
played spades when
But yeah,
we played Skippo more in 22, I think.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, we used to, it was like the whole tight end running back room, or the whole tight end fullback room.
Yeah.
And then me.
Yeah.
I think I was the only non-tight end.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was definitely spades that year. I remember I still got the one video of you in the
I have
mirror.
so many videos of me, you, Turner. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Good
hilarious.
times.
Cards were. I haven't played cards since college, which sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a great vibe.
It is.
Cards. It's so much fun.
So fun. Gosh, what a time. It's that kind of stuff. Like, you're gonna miss that.
Yeah.
You gotta do it as much as you can. Every game, every hotel, whenever you get the chance.
Right. So
it's different in the NFL, man. It's fun. I got to see, I went out. I was in Philly a couple weeks ago and saw the Jeans.
Yeah. Did you?
Oh, just an electric family.
That's awesome. Yeah. They lost today, right? To Buccaneers, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Man.
Gosh, it was infuriating. He's got their family's awesome. Yeah, they got Jax is still on. He's in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he sprouted up. Me and Coop sat by them last year in the family section.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a month later, he popped up like 3 inches.
Yeah, he's tall. He's good. Right before I got on here, I was watching some of his highlights he posted on Instagram.
Dude,
So,
all the younger brothers are looking good right now. The guys on the team.
Yeah.
Like all the recruits. Epi's little brother's a beast.
Yeah.
Shane's little brother's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the only two, but
how often are the NFL guys coming back?
They come back obviously in the summer. And like there's like a staple of guys I feel like that come back every summer. Like the Neiman brothers will be there working out, and then like Parker Hesse will, Lindy will be there. Jack Heflin was there a lot.
It's all the guys that like live around Iowa.
Yeah, exactly. And then Riley Moss showed up a couple times, and you'll be your occasional guy that's there, but those guys are like the staple. They're there all like summer working out with us, and that's always fun, and cool to see them come back and be there in training. So I don't know, it's pretty cool to see.
Oh yeah.
How about Sam? You still talk to him a bunch?
Yeah, we talk. Yeah, Sam's the man.
Boy.
He's balling out like always, like usual. That's Sam for you. But yeah, we text and we'll call, and when we FaceTime, I feel like it's always like a long call, but it happens every once in a while, so it's good. He's kicking it.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
Sammy boy.
All right. You guys got to get him back on the pod.
We'll get him on.
Yes,
that's one I'll miss again.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll do a combined. Oh man, has he been on 3 times? Either way, we'll have to do a combined tight end room.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in anytime.
That would be
get all the boys telling their stories.
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
That will be. Well, look, we're gonna be at Wisconsin. I know Jack's going this weekend, but we'll definitely say what's up to you.
Yeah, please do.
But hey, kick some ass this weekend, dude.
That's right. Good luck in Columbus. We're looking forward to it, man. And you got to ask your dad if he's practiced his touchdown call.
I'll ask him.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right, Luke. Thanks for coming on, man. Always a pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank
Luke.
you, guys. Appreciate it.